Hi, guys. We're trying to create a way for you to be able to have your district meetings in a virtual setting and still meet the requirements of T-Boat. They no longer have the requirement for a post test, but they do have a requirement that there is verification of the person's participation in the session. And so we've come up with this strategy, and hopefully it's going to be approved by Stephanie. I'm going to send it off to her. But in the meantime, just wanted to give you an idea of how you can use this form. Judy will have already sent you a link to the form, and you will be able to see the form and then edit it. But we want to maintain this particular one, the TOTA meeting verification template, as it is. And then that means that you guys are going to have to make a copy of it, and then you can do your editing. And that way everybody will be consistent across TOTA with what they are expecting people to do for their verification. So let me just walk you through this really quickly so that you can see. You would open up this file, the TOTA meeting verification template, and really you only have to do this one time, because after that you'll have your own district one and you'll be able to handle making the edits that you want to make. So we're going to go over to the three dots over here on the right, and we're going to make a copy. And for example, here, we're going to change the name and we're going to call it GCED. Diane, I hope you will give me the liberty of using Gulf Coast for the demo. So there's our GCED meeting verification template, and we're going to say okay. You may or may not choose to share that with other people. That's up to you. I have no horse in that race, so I don't care. So here we have our template, and it's actually all set up. So if you are working from the district, you can now eliminate this text, because this text was placed here for people who are going to be making a copy of the template. And the actual text that we're going to be using is this that's in the quote. So I'm just going to edit it. You're seeing I'm just editing it with my keyboard. So the digital attestation statement is your affirmation that you attended the course. And let's just say that it was GCED. We had sensory, is it sensory or behavior last month? So I'm going to put, is it sensory or is behavior? And that's really just because when you do create the spreadsheet, it'll tell you what the name of the course was. So here we go. Is it sensory or is it behavior? We're going to have them put email in. So we have an email collection. We have a calendar for them to put in the date of whatever it was that they attended. They can type in their name. And then here is their digital signature, which I put in that they would just type in their Texas license number. So if they're an OT or an OTA, they would just type in their license number there. And then upon receipt of the attestation, of the course certificate can then be emailed to them on the email address that's provided. So you can create your certificate as you have in the past and then just email it out to the people who participated in your session. So then what happens with this is once you get a response, let me not jump ahead. So once you have your form the way that you want it, which this is the recommendation that we have right now, if it is subject to change based on the feedback that we get from the licensure board. But if we're going to send it, we're going to send the form and we're going to click on the link. And here is the link that we're going to be telling our colleagues to go to. So let's shorten it by putting a box in there, and you can see it's much shorter at that point. You can send this out to your participants once the course is over, or you can include it on your handout, your digital handout, or you can put it in the chat feature of your Zoom box. There's so many ways that you can use to give them this particular link. So I'm going to control Control C. I'm going to copy this link, and then I'm going to show you what happens when you go to that website. It's going to look just a little bit different because this is now ready for someone to take. So the general participants aren't going to have this pencil here. They're just going to be able to add their content. You, if you're an editor, as a district chair or as an education chair, you'll see the pencil, but they won't be able to see that, and they'll just have to fill it in. So the required things, the email address, I'm going to go ahead and fill mine in. The date of the continuing education session, ours coming up is, I'm going to put it on the last one because we did it on February the 19th. And then my name and my license number. And then it says, upon receipt of your attestation, a course certificate, and then we're going to click submit. So I hit submit, and now if I go back to my verification form, I'm going to refresh it so that it shows. Now I'm the editor again. So you can see I'm an editor, and now I have a response. So let you see. When you go to the responses, you can see a summary of people who participated, and you'll get a kind of chart there. Or you can go by the individual responses, which is going to give you the most information that you need. And this is my response, my email, the date of the session, and my name and my license number. And so that will allow you, if you choose to add the license numbers to the certificate, because that is a question that's on the certificate, or you can just do it the way that we've been doing it, which is having your signed certificate. I personally think it's just as easy to go ahead and add their content, but that's up to you guys and how you want to do it. And then you can email it. But the other part of this that's really good is if you go to the spreadsheet, it's going to create a new spreadsheet, or, well, that's what you really want it to do per meeting, so that you have a spreadsheet for the meeting. And then you're going to click create. And when you do that, you're going to end up with a list of the participants that were at that particular meeting. So the name of the meeting is going to be there, and you're going to have the date and the email address that you need to send it to. And you could even make a thing to ensure that you sent them the certificate. But it'll automatically feed into that. If you go back to it and you tell it to do it again, you can click on, like if you did it on different dates, you could click on the same. You don't have to make a new database for the same class. But if you have a different class, obviously you're going to want to send it to a different database. So if all that makes sense, I think it's a pretty easy way to get it done. And I think it's something that you will find broadens the appeal of TOTA. You may want to have them register. So you might want to do a Google Sheet or a Google form and have the participants register in order for you to send them the Zoom link for the meeting. And then in that one, you might consider having them indicate whether they're a TOTA member. And if they are not, you can put the link to the member clicks on the website where they pay for a district meeting, and just have them go straight to the payment right there from their Google form. So if you're interested in doing that, let me know. If you have any problems, I'll be happy to help you set that up as well. But this part is for the meeting verification, to ensure that the person did participate prior to you sending them electronic or a certificate of attendance. And then the other things that you're going to want to think about that you could also use Google Forms for is the course evaluation and the registration, so that you know, again, who you sent it out to, and you can allow a direct payment to the TOTA website, or a direct link to the payment on the TOTA website. So I hope that this is helpful. I hope it gets you thinking about some of the potential that we have for broadening our appeal to practitioners, both in the state and potentially even around the country, especially at this time, because we do offer some awesome continuing education, and I applaud all the districts for that. It's something that is very valued. I know when I was district chair, it was one of the most valued benefits of being a TOTA member, and I think that in light of the conditions of the country right now, that might be a really good way for us to show our foresight and commitment to quality practice. So thanks for your time.